wow, I see a couple of familiar faces, which is like totally cool. You guys probably see my boobs. It's like a lot of people. I'm really nervous because I'm not taking off my clothes. But I also feel like Steve Jobs, but they're like, what if I told you that I'm coming out with the iPhone 8? Steve, you're dead. I don't care. It's coming out with the iPhone 8. It's like Ghostbusters. When you meet someone, you want to know things about them. Their name, where are they from, do they like long walks on the beach? And I meet a lot of people every day in what I do. I meet a lot of people. And most of those people have already placed me in a box. They've already looked at me up and down. I have blue hair, I'm brown, I'm short, I may not be educated, all these things. But when they ask me one of the most cliched questions in DC, that's when the fun begins. And this question really hit me when I was at the Nigerian embassy one time with a friend. She just invited me just because, dressed nice. No one knew what I did for a living. And then they asked me, what do you do for a living? Now, I always respond to this answer, same answer, just respond in either one or two ways. Very deadpan, or with a mischievous smile. And my answer, I'm a burlesque dancer. What? Huh? Who? What the? You're literally watching their brains explode. I'm literally ruining lives at that exact moment. And I just made them uncheck every box they put me in. Every last box. It's a brilliant feeling. It's amazing. I made them just remove me from it. And once they formulate their words, majority of the time they always say the same thing. Interesting. Which in my head translates to, you're weird. Who does that? So some of you are probably like, what is burlesque? Well, I am going to give it to you quick and dirty, just the way I like it. Burlesque is to parody. It's the art of making fun of something. Burlesque started like in the 1800s. What were we parodying back then? Probably Shakespeare, making fun of Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth. Think about it. The men were dressing as women. That's burlesque right there. But it evolved to American burlesque, which is the art of the tease, showing a little bit more skin. Okay? So it evolved in this word. So now to parody and to tease go hand in hand in this day and age because we are parodying ourselves. Burlesque performers are either turning their true selves up to 11 or finally being their true selves on stage. Society tells us that we should be drones and follow all these things in order to succeed. I'm living. You don't need that. You don't have to. So I encourage everyone that comes into my burlesque classes that I teach, everyone that comes to a burlesque show, everyone that I engage with talking about burlesque, you beautiful people here right now, is to break the rules and break yourself. Strip off your clothes and find your weird. So, how did I become a burlesque dancer? Well, it was a dark, cold, stormy night. Actually, it kind of was. What happened was I got tired of coming home from my government job and sitting on the couch, watching television, rinse, repeat. I got tired of doing that. I wanted something different. I wanted something new. I started out with just changing my hair color. I started out with wearing something different, taking a new way to work. And then I'm looking in the city paper, Washington city paper, and they talk about the Baltimore Tattoo Convention. And I was like, oh man, it says they have a burlesque show here. What the fuck is burlesque? Let's look it up. Looked it up, realized at work, oh shit, that may be not safe for work. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. At the time, I drove a tiny, tiny Chevy Aveo. I currently now drive a tiny, tiny mint green Fiat. I love small cars. And I went ahead and said, I'm gonna go. Well, at the same time, a blizzard happened. And my parents are like, fuck that shit. It's part of my French. What? You know what? Fuck that shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. You have a burlesque dancer talking to you. Okay. I don't have on pasties or a G-string, so you're gonna get my filthy mouth. I was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna go. But if there's burlesque in Baltimore, there has to be a school. And the school I found upon was Trixie Little's Burlesque Boot Camp. Now, Trixie Little is internationally known inside the burlesque world. She's famous in the burlesque world. That's pretty much it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the classes. $300 later for classes and probably $200 in costuming. I took off my bra and never looked back. And people told me that you can't do that. You can't take off your clothes. Even my own mother was just like, no, you can't do that. You were raised Jehovah's Witness. We don't do that. My mom has come to a lot of my shows now, let's just put it that way. And I literally just said, watch me. And I did it. And I've been doing burlesque for 6 years now. But 3 years ago, I unfortunately lost my job. I did aviation background checks. I had a very boring drone job. I just remember going, thank you for calling Dayon Trusted Identity Services. This is blah, blah, blah. Like, that was my life. That was my voice. I sound like a sex worker and NPR analyst every time you called me. And as I lost my job, and I'm sitting there in my car crying, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my gosh, I lost my security blanket. I needed to lose that security blanket. I needed to step outside of that box. It literally just took one step. And then another, and then another. And then what ended up happening was people were telling me, especially my family, because they care. My parents care. You should go back and get another government job. You know, I have someone, my dad worked for the IRS. I can call Sandy at the IRS. We can get you another job. We can get you another office job. And once again, fuck that. I decided to try this burlesque thing full time. But how? Are there opportunities? We're not like New York. Thank God we're not like New York. We're not like New York. We're, you know, God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. You know? It's not like Chorus Line. Everyone in DC wears a suit and a tie, and yet here I am going, I want to wear pasties and a G-string and shimmy all over the place. How can I do that in DC? Well, it's, wait, where am I? Okay. What made that choice so different than any of my other choices in life was that it was weird and wacky. And there was other people who were weird and wacky supporting my choices. I actually had a friend, and I sat on her couch, and she went, so you're going to teach burlesque? I was like, excuse me? You're going to teach burlesque. I have a bar. You can teach it on Thursdays. Come up with a marketing plan. I came up with a marketing plan in less than an hour. Tantalized Thursdays at the Beer Baron. You pay $10, get a free drink, and I will teach you a routine in an hour. First class, no one showed up. Oh, Dios mío. Second class, 5 women showed up. Then again, the same 5 women. Then again, the same 5 women. Then again and again and again. To the point I finally took a sip of my whiskey and Coke, and went, "I'm sorry, why are you here?" And they asked me, and they just smiled shyly and went, "Well, I want to do what you do. I want to become a burlesque dancer." At that moment, I literally went, "Yay, let me show you where the pasties are!" Because I was really excited that someone wanted to step outside of their box. Someone didn't want to be mundane in a drone. Someone wanted to come and play. So it's just like life. When you go to a party, all it takes is one person to hit the dance floor, right? All at the pool party, only takes one person to jump in the pool. Everybody's going to do it. And I realized I was that one person that decided to hit the dance floor, and I was that one person that decided to jump in the pool. I'm no Simone Biles, but I can swim to save my life. And that's what burlesque has done. I'm literally swimming to save my life every day and to continue to be this unique person with blue hair. So with all of that, my classes grew, my art grew, and it all grew because I was willing to take a chance on it all. I was willing to step outside of my box. I was willing to take a chance on myself. And with that growth grew other opportunities for me. I'm not going to go down my whole curriculum vitae, whatever, however you say it. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. My accent is very thick. And with that being said, like, I'm already an anomaly to the world. Let's see here. I am a Washington, D.C. native. Like, born and raised in Anacostia and the Trinidad area. I am a unicorn. And I had a comedian say one time, when people say, "Oh, there's Washington natives here," he was like, "That's just you telling me you don't talk to black people." And I was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, that's real talk. Because I do have people look at me and go, "What do you mean you're born and raised in DC?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's a thing. But not only am I a DC native, I'm an educated woman, went to Frostburg State University, of color, who takes off her clothes for a living, runs her own business, and is unapologetic about it. I don't care what people think, and that ruins, once again, I ruin people's lives. I destroy them. I love it. So what makes burlesque so unique? Well, what I do is uncanny and downright weird. I am literally taking off my clothes in a dive bar as a recognizable character or a figment of my own imagination for money, for applause, for fun. And the cool thing, and what's weird to me as a burlesque performer and even as a burlesque teacher, you, the audience, there is a room full of naked hands, right? And yet, there's a beautiful woman on stage with a gloved hand. And you guys are hooting and hollering for her to show her naked hand. Why are you hooting and hollering? You know what a naked hand looks like. You have to. And, you know, you're using it to clap for us like we're Tinkerbell about to die. You know what a hand looks like. I mean, it's true. Like, people are like, naked hand. And with me showing my naked hands and being these characters, especially a lot of burlesque dancers, I'm not gonna lie, we create awkward boners. We really do. We either turn you on in an awesome way, beautiful classic teas, Dita Von Teese, Josephine Baker, Dirty Martini, Pearl Noir. Look up all those people, they're fucking amazing. But then you'll have someone who's Gollum. Taking off their clothes. And you're just like, what the, what, huh? And, you know, and we're creating these uniquely themed shows. I do this thing called Nerdlesque, which is me dressing up as a nerdy character and taking off, go, Schmeagle, you know, Gollum. Lieutenant Uhura, actually, I forgot. Okay, yeah, this is one of my favorite things. I like being weird because weird is all I've got. It's all I've got. That and my sweet, sweet style. Give it up for Moss, man. Here's me as Moaning Myrtle. Classic burlesque music, but every article of clothing I'm taking off, I'm literally like, cried. I took something that people know and like made everyone laugh and was titillated. I've done sci-fi, like I said, Lieutenant Uhura. I'm a huge Star Trek nerd. I learned to be a black nerd from my dad, also known as a blurred. And I was taught to be a blurred. And when I showed my dad my costume and I dressed up, hair, everything, he went, I like it, but why you gotta make her take her clothes off? And then I was like, Dad, watch this. And he was like, oh gosh, she's stripping in front of me. And then I showed my second outfit, he goes, mirror, mirror, nice. It's the fact that like, if you're a Star Trek person, you know what mirror, mirror is. That was like, what, season 4, episode 2, where it was like evil Lieutenant Uhura. And if you're not into Star Trek, what you see is a 1960s outfit and Blondie playing Call Me. So I look like a go-go dancer. And it works. My art transcends to everyone. But when you guys come to these burlesque shows, please come to a burlesque show if you have not. We are inviting the Muggle population to step outside of the box with us. We're literally telling you, pay this amount of money for this ticket to come and see us be weird. And guess what? You in turn are being weird with us. Because would you go see a burlesque show on a Saturday night, or would you go on a rooftop, many rooftops on DC? I'd rather you be inside and come and see beautiful, beautiful bodies. So when people see other people taking a step outside of the box, it's almost like a child looking outside and seeing other kids at play, and they either feel one of two ways. Outside, how dare you go outside? There's sun, there's bees, there's everything. Why would I go outside when I have my Netflix, Stranger Things is on, I have my games? I'm not going outside unless there's a Pokemon out there. But you also get the other people going, I want to go outside. How do I go and play? How do I do this? And those are the people that I teach. Those are the people that came to the Beer Baron. Those are the people that came to Tantalize Thursdays. This is why now I have Studio Holiday in Anacostia. I invite people to come and take their clothes off with me. And I teach other women and some men to take off their bra and never look back. So recently, a graduate of my burlesque series, Budding Burlesque Beauties, was performing at a show, and I decided to go. It was at Mr. Henry's. I decided to go. That was from Barbarella-esque. Like, we did a Barbarella burlesque show. Barbarella's already a shitty movie to begin with. But when you add burlesque, look, there's me getting whipped cream all over my body. Look at that. Yeah, proud moment for my mom right there. But a recent graduate of my Budding Burlesque Beauty series was performing at a show at Mr. Henry's, and her husband invited me to sit next to her, well, next to him. And we started chatting, and I did speak up about being a starving artist. I am definitely a starving artist. I eat rice and beans almost every night and frozen vegetables. Like, I'm broke. I may look fancy, but I'm broke. And I didn't have enough money to buy the ticket for the show, but I spent my last $20 to do it because why not? It's Sunday, you know? And he was just like, hey, I'm gonna buy you a drink and I'm gonna buy you dinner. Why are you doing this? His words to me, and I quote, you have brought so much joy and happiness to my wife that I just can't possibly thank you enough. So please, order whatever you want. I have improved their lives by having his wife step outside of the box. He has now stepped outside of the box as well by coming to all these burlesque shows, tipping us like crazy, making it rain on bitches. You know, and all because I'm giving this couple happiness. I'm giving them the time to step outside of the box. Like, I had no idea that I changed this couple's relationship. I have no idea a lot of times I've changed these people's lives. I always think of it as what I do is just one small step for man and one giant leap, naked leap for mankind. My notes are all over the place, and consider it organized chaos. With burlesque, we take something that is so mundane and boring, such as everyday life, and we make it hilarious and sexy. You know, we take what the general public would think being naked on stage would be vulnerable. Guess who's vulnerable? Each and every last one of you. You have no idea what I'm going to do next. You have no idea who I'm going to tantalize and tease next. You have no idea. You are sitting there in the palms of my hands as putty. Smile for the camera, darling. It's called a candid shot. It's called a candid shot. You have no idea what we're going to do. And when I sat on your lap, guess what? You just stepped outside of the box. You just got weird with me. We just took a picture together. You love me. It's great. You know, I just gave him an awkward boner because he's at this intellectual lecture. He's like, teacher, I need a naked GiGi. You know, when I was a kid, the world told me I can be whatever I wanted to be, right? You can be a fireman, you can be a doctor. I was going to play it safe. Until one day, I told my family, I said, no, I just want to create. My mom was like, what does that mean? Oh. And yet I still played it safe until, like I said, 3 years ago when I was like, fuck it, I'm going to create. And creating could be anything. I am very la bohème, you know, very much, you know, like I said, I'm a starving artist. I host, I sing, I strip for my supper. Now, I'm not saying that being outside of the box is easy. I'm sorry that I'm painting it this beautiful glitter curtain, these wonderful lights, these sparkly costumes, these beautiful heels. It's not. It is very much the road less traveled. Majority of the time, it is you and only you trudging through the jungle, just making your way. And you're making this path, and you are now a trailblazer. You can look back and not see anyone, or you can look back and see a good number of people who are like, yeah, you kick down the door. Safe. It's safe to come out. Safe to play. And doing this is not easy because, unfortunately, society does not value art. They think it's very sterile, very once in a box. I mean, who in here are like graphic designers and you have your boss go, make that logo right now. And you're just like, what is my motivation? What is my intent? You know? I unfortunately just recently lost my job as a dance teacher to little kids because the parents wanted more content. I'm like, I'm teaching your kids dance and moving. You better be lucky that they're not glued to their cell phones or their iPads. You know, and they wanted a sterile content, sterile things. I'm not sterile. I have blue hair. You know, like I'm teaching their kids to be weird, and some parents don't like that. And the wonderful thing about burlesque being unique and uncanny and eclectic is that these beautiful people are taking off their clothes and performing. They come in all different shapes, sizes, genders, sexualities, socioeconomic income, whatever. They're coming from all walks of life. And they make sure that a human is stripping out of clothing, sparkly clothing, but it can be more than that. My favorite quote from John Lennon is, "It's weird not to be weird." I just had to say that. And for me, if you're not doing something outside of the box, you're not living. You're not. I'm going to tell the story, and I told Joel this over the phone, and are you ready? Strawberry Shortcake story. So, there's a performer in D.C. She's been performing in D.C. for a long time, and she does this act called Strawberry Shortcake. And it's very cutesy, very strawberry, you know. Well, what you think of the image of Strawberry Shortcake? But she switches it. Strawberry Shortcake takes a bong hit. What happens after you smoke a lot of weed? You get the munchies, right? College, great. Actually, it's legal in D.C., right? You get the munchies. She ate so much, she ended up having a tummy ache. She's like, oh, strawberry fields forever. You're hearing it. And then next, you know, she starts taking off her clothes and she's feeling sick. Oh, God. And then she proceeds to take off Strawberry Shortcake's big bloomers, and a strawberry pops out her ass. She literally shit a strawberry on stage. The name of the act is actually called Strawberry Shitcake. And what I'm telling you guys is, shit a strawberry on stage. Shit a strawberry in life. Blow people's minds. Just puke rainbows. Shit strawberries. You know, if people say you look familiar, say I do porn. I don't know. You know? Like, now you don't, I tell people all the time, like, you don't have to take off your clothes to be weird. You don't. You don't have to eat fire or read naked on stage. That's what I do. There's a show called Naked Girls Reading, DC. Please look it up. It's great. We're naked. Literally naked. Naked. I get not stressed out enough. To take a walk on the weird side. Outside of me doing burlesque, I'm the entertainment director for La Boom Brunch. I'm the reason that you are intoxicated early Saturday and Sunday mornings. Not only that, I'm the host, and I am sometimes do burlesque. I started there as a burlesque dancer, dancing on the bar one time. You know, this is a brunch that people think, oh, it's a brunch, you know, DC brunches, bottomless samosas, yeah, it's gonna be great. And then literally I show up, I'm like, what's up, fuckers? And they're like, what's happening? Why is this brown woman yelling at me? And then I'm just like, all right, come on, let's get naked, let's dance. And then I bring out a burlesque dancer. And then one of my favorite games that I make them play is, actually two favorite games, dick ring toss. I make a guy put on a strap on and have women line up, like 5 women, throw rings at the dick. Another one is called Brunch with Brianna. I take a blow-up doll and I go, all right, here's Brianna. You gotta eat the cherry out her mouth, the olive out her, and the chocolate Whopper out her. Oh. That's when the fun begins, because that game happens after they've had, I don't know, 3 bottles of champagne. And my favorite thing is recently one guy went straight for the booty, and I was like, oh, dude. And then he went to the mouth. I was like, oh, okay, buddy. But he was so awesome about it, to the point I went, I bet you he does that in real life. This booze just helped him get there. Think of being weird and wacky and not being safe with your art is drinking 3 bottles of champagne. Go there. If you think it's not, if you think, oh man, this is safe. No, fuck that. Break that. Take off your seatbelt. Don't take off your seatbelt. You know, Because I'm encouraging people to get out of their comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Out, 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 out. Take it off, take it off. I get it. It's warm, it's fuzzy, it's filled with snacks and Netflix. You know, but we can't stay there. We have to discover new lands and sometimes fall right into the Bermuda Triangle. Creating things is hard. It is. Sometimes we get stuck. How do we get out of that? You explore. You can do cliche things such as a museum or a walk in the park. You can take classes. I get a lot of people who take hip hop classes from me that don't know how to dance. They go, I just don't want to, I want to whip and nay-nay in the club and not look like an idiot. I did manual labor once. I went to a farm and picked berries and enjoyed the colors of the berries. Heck, I'm about to sign up for a fire eating class. It's going to be great. And, you know, do something that you never thought to do well within the legal limit. Keep on your safety belts. Well within the legal limit. Wow. Okay. Oh, I'm almost done. This is so weird. Okay. You know, art can be boring at times. I'm not gonna lie. Burlesque for me has gotten boring. I've been doing it for 6 years. I've been stripping for 6 years. I paid for my 1-bedroom apartment with these titties, with this ass, with twerking all over the place. I have traveled. I just headlined the New Jersey Burlesque Festival. They pay me buku money to be there. Like, it's amazing. I mean, with burlesque, I already know that each person that steps on that stage, yes, I'm gonna see some boobs, I'm gonna see some butt. But it's the journey that gets us there. It's what happens in between the moment they step on the stage to the moment they give me their big reveal. That's where the magic happens. I am currently right now myself in such a creative rut that I'm stepping out of my own burlesque zone. I'm stepping away from all the beautiful evening gowns, all the feather fans, and the fast-paced dance moves into something more real, more unique. I'm turning myself up to 11, and maybe I'm showing my true self on stage. A deeper connection to my art and my craft that with every step outside of that box in the burlesque world that has put me, I'm not weird to them. I'm an innovator. Think about that. Next time you're putting something together, you're being innovative. You're not being weird. You're looking at it in a different light. And so I'm bringing something new to my scene that is just more than tits and ass, but I'm still taking them to the land of tits and ass. I'm going to end it with this, other than please break free of whatever constraints that art has given you. Break free of it. You don't need it. I could have easily become a painter. I could have easily become a jewelry maker. I could have easily made gift bags like my mom did to help bring in extra money to the family. I could have easily sewn clothes. I know how to sew. But I decided to be a woman of color taking off my clothes. I'm not one of the beautiful strippers at Stadium. I'm fucking GiGi Holliday. You know, I perform at the gala. I was one of the first burlesque performers in 60 years at the Howard Theater. You know, I'm a part of an all-black female burlesque troupe. I've given people jobs, you know, and the artist's mind is unique. One moment we are free to do whatever we want, and the next, fear makes us stay in our comfort zones, creating a prison. Now with my art, and also with yours, I want you to break out of that prison, no matter how many times society, those at work, those in your scene, or yourself puts you in that box. Going forward, I want you guys to promise me not to play it safe with your art or with yourselves, because it just takes one step. GiGi Holliday, thank you.